What what's good? It's your boy Fanon. Okay, man, I'm going to talk about to do a follow up on a video 78 Sports TV did this morning. I finally, after a day of work, got an opportunity to listen to the interview between, or the argument that took place between Barry Hearn and Frank Warren over in the UK about Anthony Joshua fighting Tyson Fury, about some comments that were made about the $50 million offer that was made for Deontay Wilder. And it's just, I've said this before, but this interview just brought around for me again that I miss the Klitschko's, man. I never thought that I would have said that, but I really and truly miss the Klitschko's. These Hearn guys have no intention. They just want to milk it, man. They want to milk it. And this whole God, man, this whole thing with Anthony Joshua. After the Povetkin fight, I talked about what was going on inside the ring with the Povetkin fight. And you know, there could be arguments made about how good Anthony Joshua is in the ring and how well he would do against Deontay Wilder or Tyson Fury and all that stuff. But what's going outside of the ring with Matchroom boxing, it's a joke, man. Now, before I get into that, though, I want to thank everybody that tunes into the show. Thank you for subscribing. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe and hit the bell icon. And that way you can be notified when we release more videos, and also when we do the live streams. And thank you to everybody that supports the channel by listening to the ads we put in the videos, also the Venmo, Patreon, and the super chats from the live streams. Thank you very much. And also, again, 78 Sports TV is going to be back on his live stream. We do believe it's going to be the October 1st, and we're going to have a super chat challenge to welcome back 78 Sports TV to the live stream on his channel. Now, this is what all the fighting aside with Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury, all that stuff to the side. The way that the Hearns and Anthony Joshua are trying to sit on top of these belts is it's patently obvious that that's what they're trying to do. And that's what stood out the most in this conversation that took place between Barry Hearn and Frank Warren. And just to summarize what it was, Barry Hearn said that the fight that Anthony Joshua wants more than anything else is Deontay Wilder. Frank Warren said, look, you didn't want that fight. If you wanted the fight, then that fight would have happened yesterday. It would have happened on yesterday being Saturday. And because you turned down $50 million for it, you obviously didn't want that fight. That's why we being Tyson Fury and Frank Warren are facing Deontay Wilder, because you didn't want the fight. And then they proceeded to talk about the possibility of a Tyson Fury Anthony Joshua fight if Tyson Fury were to beat Deontay Wilder. I won't go into everything they said, but the gist of it is they started talking about percentages. And so they were like, yeah, we'd be willing to fight Tyson Fury, subject to terms. That's what Barry Hearn said. They would be willing to fight Tyson Fury subject to terms. That's why I'm saying anytime you listen to Hearn's talk, you listen to Bob Arum speak, these guys talk, you got to listen to the whole sentence, read the whole article, read every word in the article, and read every word twice. Subject to terms means if we get what we want. And as we've seen before in the Deontay Wilder fight, they will write terms that are all but guaranteed to get rejected by the other team. But the thing that was most telling in the conversation to me was that they doubled down on this 8 to 10 year plan for Anthony Joshua. He made it abundantly clear that they're not interested in being the undisputed champion. And if it was to be in the way that I'm interpreting to it, what they alluded to was, if it happens, that's fine, but that's not the overall goal for them. Their goal is to have Anthony Joshua be a champion for 8 to 10 years. They want multiple fights. They said when Tyson Fury said, when Frank Warren said, well, look, we want to fight Anthony Joshua in April if we beat Deontay Wilder. And Barry Hearn comes back and says, well, Deontay Wilder's going to have a rematch clause. And Frank Warren said, look, that's my problem to work out. But that's the fight we want. Next is Anthony Joshua, right? You got the WBC champion. You've got the lineal champion. That's the fight that everybody in boxing wants. Yeah, I know you're an accountant, Barry, and you're counting your money, but the fight that the fight fans want to see is for basically for undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. And Barry Hearn said, well, maybe. Barry Hearn's response to that was maybe. But if we don't like what you're offering, we don't like what you're doing, we'll just go look for somebody else to fight. That's why I'm saying these guys are the worst. These guys are the worst. I've never heard of anything like anybody being this blatant about trying to milk belts. Now, I know that they probably feel, Barry Hearn and Eddie Hearn rightfully feel like this is their one crack at it. This is the one and the only time that they're going to be in this situation where they believe that they're in. I don't believe that they're in the situation that they think that they're in, except for the ability to milk fans in the UK. But he said 50-50. He said, yeah, we'll do 50-50. That's what Frank Warren said. And Eddie and Barry Hearn said, no way. 50-50 with the number one heavyweight in the world. Anthony Joshua won't be the number one heavyweight in the world after Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder fight. Because every single solitary belt that he has will belong to the winner of that fight. And the lineal championship of the heavyweight division will belong to the winner of Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury. And that's a fact. Those belts that he's talking about that he believe is making him the number one fighter in the world, number one heavyweight in the world, don't belong to him. The IBO doesn't belong to him. The WBA doesn't belong. The WBA Super doesn't belong to him. The WBO doesn't belong to him. The IBF doesn't belong to him. Tyson Fury never lost in a ring. What Anthony Joshua has is a hype machine around him, and a hype machine that is starting to fail and will continue to go downhill because people are not going to continually accept them fighting people other than the people that everybody knows he should be fighting, which is the other champion. There's only one other champion. Right now, there's a lineal champion in Tyson Fury, widely recognized as a lineal champion, and there is Deontay Wilder, who is the WBC champion. And to boot, as it goes with Tyson Fury is the guy that really held all of the belts. If they had lineal championships for specific belts, he would be the lineal WBA champion, the lineal WBO champion, the lineal IBF champion, and the lineal IBO, as if that matters, champion. Because he never lost those in the ring and he didn't retire. But, a question aside about whether or not Anthony Joshua can beat Tyson Fury, or Tyson Fury can beat Anthony Joshua, or Deontay Wilder can beat either one of them, it's the mentality that they're showing that is so discouraging. They're talking about things that should not matter to boxing fans. He said that they're going to go look for somebody else. If Deontay Wilder were to beat Tyson Fury, then Deontay Wilder wants to fight with Deontay Wilder. How do you want it when you didn't you give him a deadline and asking him to negotiate for the fight before he even fights Tyson Fury? You want him to lock into the amount of money, lock him into the venue, lock him into all that stuff before he even fights? Or is it really that you know perfectly well he's not going to do that, so you have a deadline that's going to allow you to do what you want to do anyway, which is fight Dillian White? or Derek Chisora, and then be able to turn around and blame Deontay Wilder or blame Tyson Fury for the fact that that fight didn't happen. I have a feeling these guys are out thinking themselves. Fight fans already know, man. They already know. And it's just going to get worse. But, like I said, this one wasn't about who can win what or whatever. But look, man, Barry Hearn all but said that they don't want that fight with Tyson Fury. They don't want that fight with Deontay. They're acting as if they already didn't want the fight with Deontay Wilder. The Matchroom Boxing has their cash cow, and they are fully committed to milking that cash cow until there's nothing in the udders left. And then 8 to 10 years from now, they'll let them go, right? Probably with guaranteed money. Just keep fighting this guy, fight this guy. Hey, man, maybe we'll put you in there again. You can get the rematch with Dillian White. You get a rematch with Joseph Parker, and they just keep going around and around in circles. Hope that Deontay Wilder loses. Hope that Tyson Fury gets back on drugs so that the coast will be clear. This is just not good for boxing, man. And I don't understand how any of you Anthony Joshua fans defend this stuff. But, hey, if you're new to the sport and you don't really care about the sport, if you're really just there to glorify Anthony Joshua, hey, man, do it any way you want it, because you wind up getting what you want, which is to look at Anthony Joshua holding belts and smiling and walking past you in a crowd, singing Sweet Caroline. But it's hollow. And at the end of the day, at the end of all of this nonsense, and he goes down to history when it leaves the present day, and it's just going to go down as a cat who was a fraud. And Anthony Joshua isn't the one I'm not saying Anthony Joshua was a fraud during this video. I'm saying that Barry Hearn and Eddie Hearn are setting up a fraud specifically designed to milk as much money as they can possibly get out of UK boxing fans. They're not even milking American boxing fans. They're not milking me because I'm not paying anything. They're not milking fight fans in Texas. They're not milking fight fans in the United States. They're milking the UK fight fans, sitting them right there, trying to sell as many tickets as they can up in the UK, up in Wembley or up in O2, Skype. That's all. That's what they want. That's the most that they're going to allow Anthony Joshua to have. They're not even going to let Anthony Joshua take the chance of being a true worldwide star. A true worldwide boxing star is somebody like Muhammad Ali, like Mike Tyson, like Floyd Mayweather Jr., like Manny Pacquiao. These are guys that everybody around the world knew and everybody wanted to see fight because they took on tough competition. They weren't domestic level fighters that grabbed up some belts that got dropped by somebody else and then want to act, Mr. Prima Donna on the money and refuse to let the fight fans see the fight that they really want to fight. So that they really want to see. So anyway, it is what it is, man. And with that, I'm out. Peace.